Alright, hey guys, Paxer, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. In this video, we'll be going over Bellibolt Ex, the Elefrog Pokemon. So this is Bellibolt Ex right here. HP 160, stage 1, has 1 attack, requires 2 lightning energy. High voltage cannon does 70 base damage. If you have 4 or more lightning energy in play, this attack does 70 more damage, so a total of 140 without type advantage. This card fits perfectly well in the lightning archetype, doing fast-paced chip damage while also being somewhat tanky, especially for a stage 1 lightning EX. And yeah, this is the deck right here. I'll show it yet again towards the end of the video. If you guys are new to my channel, really do consider if you like and subscribe. Really does help me out, especially as a small-time content creator. And without further ado, let's get right in to the deck showcase. Here we are in our first battle. We are going second up against the Chien-Pao / Suicune Ex solo deck. And again, if you guys are new to my deck showcases, first battle isn't really meant to be too hard, more so just to get the feel for the deck. Leading with Tadbulb, not the worst because of Tadbulb's ability right here, charge. Take a lightning energy from energy zone, attach it to this Pokemon. Opponent subs in to Suicune Ex. Perfect, so we got a lot of stuff in our hand. We got Zeraora, amazing. You ideally, of course, want to get this guy out your first turn to maximize its ability. Might as well Electrical Generator. A new tool, flip a coin. If heads, take a lightning energy from your energy zone, attach it to one of your bench lightning Pokemon. So you got Tails. Damn, that's rough. It doesn't do anything if you get Tails, of course. So you could pair it with Will to essentially guarantee you that free lightning energy charge. And just like this, we are getting 1 energy. So we have 3 energy on the board currently. Next turn, we're gonna have 4. And that's the thing about Bellibolt, is that it doesn't matter on which Pokemon the lightning energy is attached to. All that matters is that there's 4 lightning energy on your side of the field. So we got 2 copycats. Hopefully we can get Bellibolt, because if so, then we're pretty much set. Okay, that's pretty rough. So RNG isn't that good. We did get Pichu, perfect, especially since we kind of have to delay for 1 more turn. Flipping yet again. Okay, so we got a heads, attaching to Zeraora, got heads using Electrical Generator. At this point, we do have to retreat, but I believe. You got Professor's Research. We also have 1 more copy of Copycat, keep in mind. So there's a lot of cards in this deck that help with consistency. For this deck, you want to start attacking with Bellibolt as fast as possible. Energy-wise, we are at 6. That's pretty good. Okay, opponent evolves into Baxcalibur, one-shots Pichu with Suicune. Here we go. Please, I have, how many cards left? I have 7 cards. Opponent has 6, so that's pretty rough. My opponent is using Suicune, so it kind of makes sense, but please, Professor, give me what I need. Mesagoza and Bellibolt. Perfect. So we can just play like this, place down Zeraora. Might as well Mesagoza. New Stadium, essentially, if you get heads, you add a random Pokemon from your deck into your hand. So at this point, we can just start hopefully getting our second copy of Bellibolt EX. At this point, it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of thinning the deck a little bit more. Perfect. We got heads. This should be a guaranteed Tadbulb. Nice. So at this point, just do that. Evolve, beat this guy just in case, and attack. Doing 140, and keep in mind, base damage is 70, so not too bad, but doing 140, just absolutely decimating Suicune Ex. Opponent does attack with Chien-Pao, does 132 Bellibolt, but ultimately doesn't matter. I'll definitely make a Chien-Pao Ex deck showcase, but looking at the card, it's something. Personally, I feel like Water type hasn't really released a very meta-relevant Water EX ever since Greninja. I really do feel bad for Chien-Pao fans, but easy, one shot. Again, not meant to be too hard, just to get the feel for the deck. And yeah, with that being said, we shall see how this deck performs in PvP. Alright, here we are in PvP battle, going first. Okay, against possibly a mirror match. Interesting. Hand looks very promising. I'm actually going to Mesagoza. Keep in mind, since this card is a stadium card, your opponent can definitely use it and get more value than you. It ultimately comes down to RNG, but here we go. This will be huge if I can get a Zeraora. Get heads, and then please Zeraora. Pichu, okay. Not the worst, but is rather awkward. The Pichu, we also have Electrical Generator, so if we can get heads on this, this will be huge, making it so that Bellibolt can start attacking next turn. Perfect. Nice. So we do this, and then next turn we can Elemental Switch, feed Tadbulb, and just dominate my opponent. So for now, I might as well just end my turn like this. And the reason why I'm running 1 Electrical Cord is to essentially just maximize energy. Depending on how fast-paced your battle is, let's say like my Bellibolt EX in the active slot dies. If I have another one in the bench, I can use Electrical Cord to transfer to that guy to save some energy. So opponent has a lot of cards. Pretty scary, but We should have the lead, given our energy. Alright, so before Professor researching, you always want to do Mesagoza, just to thin out your deck. Perfect. Nice. Another heads. Can we get a... We got Zeraora. Damn. Doesn't do much, but still pretty good. Zeraora is the Oricorio counter to this deck. Not one-shotting the bird, but two-shotting nevertheless. So at this point, just do that. Elemental Switch, Professor's Research, Electrical Cord, and we got Copycat. Damn, okay. This is looking very promising. So not doing max damage, but still 70 damage is a lot, especially towards the early game. One-shotting the Tadbulb, getting insane lead. John, my opponent, decided to go to sleep, and honestly, I don't blame him. Securing the win, but you see the potential for this deck. It's very good, especially for going first. Ideally, you do want to go second to maximize energy, but it still works. Like with Zeraora, Pichu, energy generation is super easy using this deck. Alright, next battle. Going first yet again. You got two Pokeballs. Not too shabby, you got Pichu and Zeraora in the bench. Electrical Generator. Hopefully I can get heads yet again. Okay. I've gotten like 4 heads in a row. This is pretty nice. So, feed Zeraora. And then, honestly, I'm gonna Copycat. Just to get a bit more cards. Very risky, but sometimes you gotta play it risky. Look at that, man. I'm a high roller. Holy crap. On the bright side, Zeraora has 3 energy next turn. That's pretty cool. All I need now is an Elemental Switch and a Bellibolt. And I can just do 140 damage next turn. Alright, looking very promising. All my opponent does is feed Sprigatito, cry for help, give me Elemental Switch and a Bellibolt. This will be huge if I get those 2 cards. Mesagoza. Okay. Okay. Not the worst. We can definitely work with this. Pretty awkward, but it should be fine. Okay, so just feed and end our turn. I could play Mesagoza to try and get my last copy of Bellibolt, but again, my opponent can use it and it could definitely benefit them. My opponent evolves into non-EX Meowscarada, doing 120 onto Bellibolt. Oh gosh, okay. This is something. Very scary, but not too bad. On the bright side, we can one-shot Meowscarada, which is pretty nice. This Meowscarada EX in the bench doesn't have any energy, so... Oh, we got Bellibolt. Okay, so this is very good. If we can get Elemental Switch, it's basically GG. Basically in quotations, but yeah. Doing 140, just like that. I got 3 energy my first turn, which is pretty insane. Granted, it does require a lot of RNG. I got very lucky with the coin flips. And again, to maximize your luck, you could run 1 copy of Will, or even 2. If you guys haven't checked my Meowscarada EX deck showcase, I definitely recommend that you do. We have 2 more cards. Perfect, Professor. Look at that. And just like this, Electrical Cord. At the end of our turn, Bellibolt will have a heart attack, just like in Death Note. Just literally just collapsing on the floor, just spontaneously combusting because of Meowscarada EX's Flower Trick attack. But at this point, my opponent really can't do much, so let's do that. The only thing they can really do is Mars. If they Mars me, that'll be huge. But Meowscarada is on the verge of death. As you can see, Bellibolt just fainted. And just like this, because of Electrical Wire, I can just feed Bellibolt and Zeraora. Sub into Bellibolt EX and end my turn. Opponent Sabrina's as a last ditch effort can't really do much. Zeraora does have 90 HP, fortunately, so can't one-shot with Solar Beam. And just like that, GG. So yeah, Meowscarada is a very fun deck, but can't compete against Bellibolt EX, especially if the RNG gods are on your side. Just getting all heads, Bellibolt EX stands on top. What am I looking at? What is this? Snivy, Spinarak, and a starting plane. If I can get a Tadbulb, this will be nice. We got another Zeraora, so not the worst. Might as well Mesagoza. I don't like that starting planes. Rest in peace, 110 HP Zeraora. If I can get heads, this will be nice, especially if I can get another Tadbulb. Or not another one, but a Tadbulb on the field. Bellibolt. Damn. Not the best, but on the bright side, when it comes to energy, we are at an all-time high. I'm just gonna play like this. I could retreat into Pichu, but opponent is using Spinarak, aka Ariados, and Ariados is a bit annoying, making it so that Pichu does not have a free retreat. Played Wo-Chien. Yep, evolves into Ariados, does 30 damage. Mesagoza, please give me heads. This should be a guaranteed Tadbulb. Okay, perfect, nice. So we get Tadbulb, nice. At this point, just do this, feed a Tadbulb, and attack. Next turn, I can Copycat after evolving into Bellibolt. Subbing into Snivy. Interesting, a very smart choice, but I do have Cyrus, so honestly, Ariados is pretty annoying, so looking at this, Zeraora requires 2 energy to retreat. Might as well Mesagoza one more time. I think I have... all I'm missing now is a second copy of Tadbulb, which I do get, perfect. And just like this, all my cards in my deck are trainer cards. I'm actually gonna do this, yeah. So I'm gonna retreat out of Zeraora, but it should be fine. So on the board, we have 3 energy in total. Bellibolt is out. For this turn, we don't need to do 140 because we can just one-shot the Snivy, saving the Cyrus for later. But for now, just doing 70 on to this innocent Snivy. Damn, opponent does Copycat. They should be able to get out Superior. So Wo-Chien should be able to attack this turn. Actually, never mind. Damn. Got very unlucky with that Copycat. Bellibolt EX standing on top yet again. Alright, last battle. Going second. I'm going to be super aggressive. So I'm just going to place Tadbulb, Zeraora. Opponent in Maze, Entei EX into active, Charmander in the bench. Honestly, pretty scary. This might be a very fast battle. I'm going to take a huge gamble right here. Okay, so we can one-shot this Entei EX. However, if my opponent does have a Charmeleon, Entei EX can one-shot Tadbulb. So here we go. And also, I could have used Mesagoza, but again, I don't want to give my opponent more cards. Okay. One more battle. We can't end on a loss, as depressing as this. But yeah, I can still come back. But it's looking extremely grim. Flash forward 4 turns later and GG. Yeah, it all came down to that one crucial turn. I feel like the smarter choice was to lead with Zeraora. But if I got that lead, if my opponent wasn't able to evolve into Charmeleon, that would have given me an insane advantage. Alright, last battle. Going first, Pokeball. Hopefully I can get Zeraora. Tadbulb, please give me a Zeraora. Because if I get one, then I can start attacking with Bellibolt next turn. Perfect. Okay, nice. Okay, this is very good. Tadbulb, Zeraora. And my turn, if my opponent doesn't red card or Mars me, I can just Elemental Switch, Bellibolt doing 70 damage. But opponent is leading with Shuckle. This guy can potentially one-shot my Tadbulb. Underpriced, I have another one in my bench. Oh gosh, this guy's extremely pay to play. Using Mesagoza, getting heads. 6 cards, Small Leaf, the Olive Pokemon, only doing 20. But yeah, there is still potential to one-shot this Shuckle. Very unlikely. I need like insane main character energy to do this, but just like this, I'm about to switch, doing 50 damage onto the Shuckle because keep in mind, ability negates 20 damage. Copycat. Alright, here we go. Flame Generator. If I can get 2 heads, I can one-shot Shuckle. Okay, if I can get 1 heads, this will be nice. Okay, it's not over yet, but oh crap. I could Mesagoza, but I'm actually running out of time, holy crap. So High Voltage Cannon doing only 50, but next turn we can do a bit more damage. Yeah, not one-shotting Shuckle yet again. Opponent failed Mesagoza. Rare Candies, Molive into Arboliva. I can't talk right now, man. Recording this very late at night. Doing 20 is slow chip damage. The cool thing is that this Pokemon does have electrical cords, so once it dies, I can just transfer the energy. Mesagoza. We have 2 more cards, which are Pichu and another card, which I totally forgot. But yeah, nevertheless, feed Bellibolt. Might as well Rocky Helmet the second copy. The main issue is that my opponent can definitely Guzma and get an insane amount of value. Opponent concedes. One more battle. Last battle, I swear. No matter if I win or lose, if I get like the best luck or the absolute worst luck, this is going to be for sure the last battle. Against Gimmighoul, aka Gholdengo EX. Oh boy. So looking at this, if I can get a Bellibolt, then I can potentially do 120 next turn. So Pokeball, very promising, but all I need now is my stage 1, please. Where you at? Electrical Generator. Nice, okay. Might as well feed the one in the bench. And just like this, we have 5 energy on the field. Next turn, 6. Perfect. So opponent All my opponent does is Giant Cape Gimmighoul, doing 0 damage, also feeds. Bellibolt, please. Alright, at this point, might as well do this. Zeraora, you do some damage. Yeah. Eventually, Bellibolt will come out when he feels like it. Nice, just like that, Gimmighoul is back to full health because of Lucky Ice Pop. Opponent also Pokeballed Professor Research and continues to get heads. Subs in a literal worm. Feed in Gimmighoul in the bench. Please, Bellibolt, come out. Rocky Helmet, okay. You have 2 Copycats, 2 Professor Researches, Mesagoza as well, and we're stuck like this. Nice. Okay, so at this point, sure, just do a bit more damage. Rocky Helmet. I hate Lucky Ice Pop with a passion, dude. Is he gonna get heads again? Okay, finally got Tails. Perfect. Earthworm is at 90 HP. Gimmighoul continues to get stronger, which is pretty scary. Like, I can instantly just nuke my whole board. I'll definitely make a Gholdengo deck showcase, which should be... What a way to end the video off on. This battle. This is a sight to see. 10 cards, opponent has 8. I just can't pull anything. What is this? Gholdengo is out, just about to nuke my whole board. On the bright side, Earthworm should die this turn. But the main issue is that Gholdengo's out. And at this point, I really can't compete. Finally getting Professor's Research. Can I please get Bellibolt out? Okay, nice. But at this point, we might as well play like this. So, evolving into Bellibolt, feed whomever, attack. This should one-shot Earthworm. I'm keeping Zeraora in the active because of the Rocky Helmet. Let's do a bit more damage onto Gholdengo. The main issue is that even with that 20 damage from Rocky Helmet, Gholdengo will be surviving with 10 HP. Nice. It's basically GG. What a way to end the video off. If you want, instead of Mesagoza, you could add a red, 1 copy of red to do a bit more damage, 160 damage. I could still win, but it's looking very grim. So Bellibolt doing 140, Gholdengo's down to 10 HP. Okay, yeah, GG. Opponent getting 4 points, just like that. And perfect, Bellibolt is dead. Let me feed these 2 who are also dead. Why not? There you go. And yeah, that's the Bellibolt deck showcase. Yeah, granted, this is very unlikely to happen, given all the card generation cards such as Copycat, Mesagoza, Pokeball, Professors, but it can still happen. And yeah, that was the Bellibolt EX deck showcase. Overall, I really do like the gimmick of this card. There are a lot of Pokemon in this game that get more powerful the more Pokemon you have in your bench. Some notable examples are Pikachu EX from Genetic Apex, Mega Altaria EX, Arceus EX, and even Suicune EX. This card flips the script, focusing more on accumulated energy instead of the amount of Pokemon on the field, and overall, very nice. Fits perfectly in the landing archetype, can do fast-paced damage with the right amount of RNG. Just forget that the last battle ever happened. But yeah, overall, very cool deck. This is the deck list yet again. Overall, I'd rate this deck A tier. I feel like solid A tier. It's very nice. Again, instead of Mesagoza, you could add something such as Will, Red, because Mesagoza is very much a high-risk, high-reward card. You can get absolutely no value from the stadium, and inversely, your opponent can just get a ton of value getting heads all the time. So yeah, overall, A tier. And yeah, that was the deck showcase. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'm recording this at like 1 AM. I have to wake up at like 6 hours from now. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Helps me out mentally, also physically. I'm losing my voice, losing my sanity as well. So yeah, mentally and physically. Next deck showcase most likely will be Gholdengo EX. So the last battle was a perfect segue to my next deck showcase. So yeah, stay tuned. Also, I do have a Meowscarada EX deck showcase on my channel already, so really do consider checking that out. And yeah, that's pretty much the video, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.